Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. I was watching this video. It says the end of the U.S. dollar is here. This would be the new financial system, which is a 22-minute video, which the VRIC media goes into Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, which is basically a group of people, financial analysts that pretty much dictates, or I won't say dictate, but they kind of read the markets, and they kind of go into the currencies and the fiat currencies. And this one lady I was watching, which I got about 5 minutes into the video, she was breaking down on how it's getting ready to collapse, man. All right. And as you know, the U.S. dollar is pretty much null and void, is what they call a fiat currency, or it's a currency that's not being backed by any silver or any precious metals. OK, which the dollar just means measurement. Now, Trump got people all in a bunch because he mentioned that they was going to Fort Knox to try to see about the gold audits and the gold that's supposed to be kept in store. But how is that even possible when you're operating on a credit-based system, which technically, if you use silver and gold, you can offset a lot of that deficit and be back in good case. But we know that this whole credit-based system was set up through the elites, through the Federal Reserve, and eventually Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, eventually to bring about an inevitable collapse, which will open up these systems to be led by the MOTB. Hence, this is why you had credit cards, concept of credit cards back in the 30s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, then sooner than later, you had debit cards and you had Bitcoin, and, you had these paywalls and shit like Cash App and PayPal and, Vimo and Zelle and all these other wireless back transaction apps, so they can get people mentally acclimated to be able to not deal with cash, man, because they want you to be in the mindset that cash, or having too much cash, could be inconvenient, or it can be that of a security issue. Hence, collapsing the dollar, bringing in MOTB. And this is where we're at in prophecy, man. All right, so this system don't have too much longer to go. Because the minute that they convert everything over into this digital-based system, which, the whole Bitcoin shit, which was pretty much part of a blockchain system, okay, and here you go, down the line. And that whole blockchain shit was just set up to get you mentally prepared to accept the rollout of the mark of the beast, man. Because eventually when they roll this system out, all cash will not be, there will be no more cash in circulation, okay, which you may be able to barter in some cases with certain or low value purchases. But other than that, things are getting ready to topple over, man. Okay, so I'm going to play a couple of minutes of this video, get a couple of precepts, but the MOTB is literally right around the corner. And once that prophecy is fulfilled, then, hey, you can really kiss the system goodbye, because we literally have a matter of seconds before we get up out of here. And I'm not talking about literal 1, 2, 3, 4, but like Apostle Tahar said, he said we may have a month, if that. So, but we just have to wait and see. So anyway, here we go. And one more thing, fair use, fair use. I'm making no money from this video. This is just to report on a particular topic relating to Bible prophecy, but fair use, fair use. I'm not making no money off this video.
What I want to show you today is there's the purchasing power of the consumer dollar. 2007 was when the system died. We just don't know it yet, but it doesn't matter. Facts remain the facts. Officially, we have 3 cents left out of that purchasing power, but that's official. And what I want you to notice, when you go to the Federal Reserve Education Department, they nicely tell us how much a dollar is really worth which is a big fat zero.
Right, because it's not being backed by anything. But see, they played you people, and they allowed you people to opt into a debt note, that's what a dollar is, and this is why you technically can't own anything. You know, and this is why you have a reoccurring billing cycle a month, because with real purchasing power, you can buy wealth, or you can buy things that's of high value. You know, like our forefathers, we had wells, we had bodies of water, we had livestock. Okay, real money, but you can't buy that when you're on a credit-based system, because technically it's not being worth anything. Hence, you got rent. Versus if you had real wealth, you won't be paying no monthly rents with gold, because you can just buy the property, or you can just buy what you need to buy. Like right now, when you go into your office to pay your rent, you can't say, well, look, here go a bar of gold, or here go a talent of gold, or I have 200 pounds of silver to pay my rent. And they're gonna say, well, we don't accept that, because we're not operating on that credit bit, on that type of frequency, where we're not dealing with this type of money. Go and convert it over to USD, then come back. So by default, you're basically a slave, man, because once again, a dollar is a debt note.
Basically, this is the end of this currency's life cycle, and nothing can change it. That's why it really doesn't matter who is in power at any given moment. It is just a transfer, and what they're trying to engineer is a transfer into new system. So what I want to...
Which is the MOT to the B, the mark of the beast. Okay, that's why Trump and his team basically is allocating $500 billion. I believe I don't know if they changed it, but from what I remember, it was $500 billion in order to opt into this new digital-based system. Okay, the trial runs and phases, like they had something back in 2023 for the what do you call it? What is that fucking thing called, man? They did a pilot run back in July after they knocked off dude from PayPal, but it was called FedNow. And since then, I haven't really heard too much about it, but allegedly it was supposed to be some base app that converts or that kind of deals with your digital currency into USD. I'm not sure how it worked, but I haven't heard anything else about FedNow. But allegedly they was in a 12-week pilot program to kind of get the algorithms up and running. So I'm pretty sure they figured it out. So it's just a meantime of phasing out cash and converting everything over to this credit-based system, this digital-based system rather, and then things can roll smoothly. And people are gonna take it because the poly crisis, you know, the planes falling out of the sky and the different attacks and the fear mongering, that's going to get people to the point that they become so complacent to they're not going to have a choice but to opt into the system. And they're going to do that because they don't have knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, versus us, we know what the hell is going on. So we have a little bit more fight in us to resist, because we understand that this is the end of this man's kingdom. You see?
show you today is exactly how they do it. It is not rocket science. Let's take a look at those repeatable patterns when they make this shift. Because what we're talking about is money. And whether it's fiat money or sound money, it's all money, just the flip side. So what's money supposed to do for you? Because originally, this is what it was created for, as a unit of account, a tool of measure, medium of exchange, a fair unit of payment, so that whatever you make today, you're fairly paid. But if you're not ready to spend it, maybe you want to retire, maybe you want to educate your kids in the future, a store of value.
Right. Now it says purchasing power, which is the four pillars of money, unit of account, medium of exchange, right? So let's just say if I wanted to buy a car that was worth $800, I would give them $800 in what you would call the fiat currency, or the dollar, which we used to operate on what it was called a Federal Reserve certificate. It was a certificate because what you do is you go to the bank, and then you turn in your ticket, and then exchange, they give you your deposited money. Okay, unit of account, you would give them the deposited money, and then they would give you your money, and then you go and do what you need to do. So let's just say like a loaf of bread, $2, then I would take the exact amount of change or whatever it may be, and then You get your goods and you trade it in for their money, and that's how you work. Okay, fair unit of payment and store of value. Okay, because even in Esau's banks, even if you put money in an escrow account and over a course of time, your money's supposed to accumulate interest. You see? So this man, he's totally hit everybody with a pump fake to the point people really think that they're dealing in wealth, which the legal tender you got in your wallets now is not even real money. It's monopoly money, man. You know, but people are crashing out over it. So basically, we're working for free. All right. So I looked up the definition of fiat, right? And it says fiat, which is a formal or authorization of a proposition, a decree, which a decree can be a law, adopting a legislative review program rather than trying to regulate by fiat or arbitrary order, which the appraisal dropped from the value of 75,000 to 15,000, rendering it worthless bureaucratic fiat, hence the US dollar. All right. So it says authoritative or arbitrary order, decree government by or authoritative determination, dictate of a fiat, conscious or command or act of will. Okay, so basically legal tender. The money is legal tender. So you can use a fake ass dollar to go buy you a bag of chips or a vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So it's all a fraudulent based system. But let's go here to the book of Ecclesiastes 7, and I'm gonna start at verses 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense." Okay, so money is a defense, and it's nothing wrong with having money or wealth, because essentially our forefathers were wealthy, all right. But see, the difference is when you become covetous. Like the scriptures say, money is the root of all evil. It didn't say money was evil, but it's the root of all evil. Hence this devil. Here, this devil has all the greed, all the money in the world, but yet he's still greedy. Okay, he's harbored all the world's resources. Hence, this is the reason why Trump wants to take over Canada. He wants basically all Europe's resources, the ones that they do have left, okay? Because technically they don't have any mineral resources, but instead they want the nation's wealth. They want their resources, but yet you're already wealthy, man, but you just want to take from people. So like the elite said, once you own everything, then the last thing to do is exercise raw power over people. And that's what this devil is doing, all right? But it says, for wisdom is a defense, money is a defense, okay? So money is a defense. It's needed by food, roof over your head, a vehicle, get your ass out of a jam, okay, to take care of your family, etc. Okay, like it's better to have money than not to have it, okay, when you operating in this world. Even though the scriptures say that we will be poor, give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me, roughly paraphrasing it, the convenience, I think, matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. Poverty, no, I don't want to butcher that. Poverty or riches, give me food, which is convenient for me, roughly paraphrasing it. Yep, female food, convenient for me, Proverbs 30:8. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. Forgive me neither poverty nor riches, but feed me with food convenient for me, right? That daily bread, operating within that balance. Okay, like you got Israelites out here, their whole thing is the get rich quick scheme. They want to get rich in Babylon, but why would you want to get rich in a system that's clearly decaying? Okay, the system is clearly failing. So what's the point of even indulging in Esau's wickedness anymore? And all you guys out there that seem to want to get rich in this world, and you calling yourself a Hebrew Israelites and you want the ways of the world, you're going to take that mark of the beast. All right. And that's a guarantee. I can very well see a lot of you Israelite guys out there, especially the ones that's not teaching it, step in and take the MOTB. This is why you justifying and saying that it's not what we said it is. But it says, for wisdom is a defense, money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Right. OK, so if you have wisdom, then you understand what to do with money. Instead of just being a blabbering fool, you understand on how to spend money, how to manage money. You know what I'm saying? How to do things, how to manage your bills properly. This is why certain people get what they call what are they called? Forgot. Not accountants, even though accountants are good to have. Not the power of attorney, but it's something called for the elderly people that can't manage their money. Like not a fucking trust. A trustee or something like that. You know, like I work with a client, he's blind, and he feels that people are coming in his apartment and taking his money. But we like, once you just get you like a trustee, somebody you can appoint, you know, to handle your affairs and give you a certain amount a week to spend. That way, you know that your money is safe in the bank. But even then, the money ain't even safe in the bank, because the minute that you put the money in the bank, the U.S. government already spends it. They loans it out, you know, to fund their wars and to fund their wickedness. As we remember, 20-something billion of taxpayers' money was funded on a bunch of nonsense. So this is a wicked system, all right? But anyways, go back to the video.
Now, gold supports all of those functions. But when they wanted to take over the system, they made the fiat money mimic gold.
Yeah, y'all see, I was just reading the definition, giving power through authoritative or legislative means, meaning they can make something legal, even though that's wicked to totally make fake money with no value legal. But you're dealing with the unrighteous man. Okay, this man, the scripture say that he framing mischief through law. That's part of it. The fucking Federal Reserve note. What I'm gonna do with a Federal Reserve note, man? Besides, you know, blow your nose with it or wipe your ass with it. This is why you devils, you gonna pay.
Okay? So it mimics all of these functions of money, but baked into the system is inflation. And what does that do? It removes your purchasing power, and you don't realize it. If they can, that's what that 2% is about.
Yeah, this is why your ass is mad when you go to the store and a box of Teddy Grahams is fucking $4.50, man. Okay, some cheap ass cookies that's made with pure bullshit that should run your ass about $1 at most. That shit $5 now. Chips Ahoy, $4.86. Doritos, $5. Eggs, $256, man. Milk, $5. Bread, $20. And these are going to be real prices because you have what they call hyperinflation, which is soon to set in, especially with the way that this man Donald Trump is moving. DJ Trump the DJ 2.5. Hey, don't be surprised if eggs be $100, man. Okay.
To make the value of the currency drop slow enough that you don't change what you do. So, governments and central bankers need you to think that nothing is changing. This is how they do it. Okay? This was original. That's a $1 gold coin. And that was the same as a 1 ounce silver coin. And that was the same as a silver certificate. So they all were in circulation.
See, look at that money. In exchange for the coins, they would give you these notes. You see a gold certificate. Like up here it says $1 in silver payable to the breaker on demand, bearer on demand. And a bearer means the person that has the treasure. Okay. Now, gold certificates. So if you have gold, this would be considered your gold certificate. But basically what they did was take the appearance of a certificate and turn it into a note by taking the gold and silver from you, man, because that's one of the greatest thefts in history. That's like a fucking heist, man. Okay, Esau didn't hijack the gold because technically the gold and silver belongs to the people. Really us, the Israelites. That's our money. But what did he do? He stole it and then he put you on a fiat-based backed currency and called it legal tender to condition your ass to opt into this new system because, like she said, it gradually loses value over a course of time. And this is the reason why back in the day you could get 4 bags of Doritos for $1. But now you only can buy 2 bags of small chips for $1.30. Okay? It's not the fact that the chips or anything. It ain't the fact that it's got expensive because it's technically the same stuff. Then you got what they call shrinkflation or stagflation. But overall, it's not the fact that things are getting more expensive. You're losing purchasing power with your dollar. That's all it is. That's the reason why rent is going up. Because the dollar does not have the same purchasing power once did because they're printing out more money. And the more money they print out is going to add into the deficit. Like they got into how even though it says we're $36 trillion in debt, they've been accumulating interest for so long to the point you're more like probably $500 trillion in debt. And it's so fucked up part about it is Esau, he can fix this shit overnight. Okay, if he has all the gold, which the elites got the gold, but let's just say if the elites decided to heal the American economy, they can do it just like that. Put everything back on a gold standard. offset the debt by using gold, man, and you would still have enough wealth to go around. Then gas prices, food prices, rent, that shit would literally come down within days. Easily, but he's not going to do that because, he's stolen from the people. Which, hence, he's a fucking devil, man. Let's go to the book of Obadiah 1, and let's start at verses 5. It says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? But it said, well, they have not stolen till they've had enough. Or if gate gatherers came to thee, would thee not leave any grapes? Yeah, because this man, he believes in hey, this man will fucking sue the draws off you, man. Like, I heard a story of Red Fox. I heard that when them small hats came to collect, I don't know how true it is, but I heard a while ago that they literally coveted the gold rings off his finger while the man was dead in a casket. Here this man is dead, okay, in peace, and yet he's still owe a fucking debt. And if they can't get the debt from you, they'll get it from your children. So like if you had, let's just say if you die and you left a ton of debt in your name, Esau he'll go after your kids, man, and put them in hell. Okay, which shows you that this man, he's not able to rule. He can't rule, man. This dude is a wicked ass dude. Let me see. Matter of fact, had a precept in mind. I just lost my train of thought. James, the 5th chapter is always a good one. But let's go to Timothy 6. And 17. And it reads, it says, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in a living power who give us richly all things to enjoy. And a dollar is an uncertain rich. And people getting ready to find that out, because once the banks collapse, ain't going to be no going to your ATM to get your money. All right. This is why every time you look at these forecasts, they're telling you to take your money out the banks and convert it over to gold and silver, which converting your money over to gold and silver ain't going to do no good anyway, because once they go over to this digital based currency, they're not going to be dealing with gold and silver, man. Okay. If they catch you with gold and silver in your hand, they may just put you to death. They may just unalive you on the spot and confiscate it, because ultimately that's the real wealth, man. And these people, they don't know nothing about bartering. This is why they going to lose their damn minds. The minute that they can't go and get their little FRNs out of the fucking ATM, they're through. And that's when the rioting is going to start, and the looting. And when people realize how real it's going to get, yeah, people, they gonna start coming. They're going to start paying people visits. So that day is quickly upon us, brothers. So just, keep your head on a swivel, because things are getting ready to go down for real. All right.
And at the same time, with the same level of purchasing power. There's your 20. But what they also did was put in the Federal Reserve notes. And again, they allow everything to circulate at the same time so that you get used to the one that really has nothing backing it, and eliminates your ability to convert it and hold the central banks and the government's toes to the fire. So you think nothing has changed, but in reality, everything has when they take away the gold and they take away the gold certificates, right? But they always sell everything as convenient. Now, many people don't realize that in the 60s, there was a run on the dollar. And I'm bringing this up specifically because you're going to see we're experiencing that same run today. That's one of the reasons why I can tell you we're at the end. It doesn't matter what anybody does. There is no saving the system. It's dead and it's sick. But there was the global run with global central banks sending in their dollars and pulling the gold out of the system. And so much so that by the time Nixon took us officially off the gold standard, there was less gold in deep storage as there was prior to the confiscation. Now, if any of you are my age, then you're probably going to remember President Nixon coming on and say, if you buy everything in America, you're not going to have any loss of purchasing power. You're not going to notice it. It's incredible. Their job is really to lie. And there you are. If you are among the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.
But the thing of it is, ain't shit made in America no more. That's done. I mean, outsourcing has totally just crept your market in half, man. This is why your GDP sucks. All right, it's why you're not growing that much. Like other economies, they're running laps around America. China's economy, shit. Please, that's outside of all that surveillance and communism shit. China is the place to buy, okay? Because they mass produce everything: shoes, clothes, materials, all types of shit, man. Japan, electronics. So America is pretty much through, man. Go here to the book of, matter of fact, let's go to the book of Genesis 47. And I'm going to start at verses 13. And it says, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of famine. And a famine is coming to this Egypt. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house, because there was great dearth in the land, all right, and the money failed. So basically he exchanged their cattle and for goods, and and it was like a bartering system. But it says here, and when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came into Joseph and said, give us bread. Why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And we're witnessing the collapse of the dollar as we speak. So one day, people going to wake up and they're not going to be able to get their monies out the ATM. Then they're going to go to the bank and cause in hell. And the banks are going to be closed, because they expect once this collapse really hits, and once it's like really a realistic thing, then they're going to have to close the banks, because they got to keep the employees safe. Okay, the minute that they break down the system, they're going to send a mass email down and say, look, don't report to work tomorrow. And they may tell them people to pull their money out the banks early, at least the upper management. But like you employees, you're going to work at the very same bank that's going to lock your money into a vault somewhere, man. And you ain't going to be able to get it. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they bought their cattle into Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle that year, man, all right? So that was like a bartering system. You want bread? Here, take the cattle. Bam, give me a cattle, you want bread? Bam. So it's going to go back to a bartering system, man. All right? Let's go here, Revelation 6. And I'm going to start at verses 6 and 3. 6 and 5. And it says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. See that thou hurt not the oil and the wine, which the oil and the wine represents the elect. But basically, when you go into that word penny, it goes into the denarian, which was basically a day's wage during the time of the Roman Empire. Okay, and it tells us here, where it says penny, goes into denarian, which denarius containing 10, a Roman silver coin in the New Testament. It took its name for being equal to 10 asses, which is a measurement, which is considered like a dollar, right? It says a number after 217 BC increased to 16, about 3.898 grams or 0.1375 ounces. It says it was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it was seen that the denarius was then the ordinary's pay for a day's wages, man. Okay? So hence, the money system weakens, hyperinflation sets in, people start to panic, MOTB systems comes in, people accept the chip because they want to go back to their life. All right? Now, when you read here in the New Living Testament, it says, and I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings, which the 4 living beings are the angels. It says, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the olive oil and wine. But it says, A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And this is why people are complaining that when they go to the store, 3 bags of groceries cost your ass $600. I remember $20 back in the early 90s would give you damn near half a bag, if not a full buggy of groceries, man. Off 20 goddamn dollars. Now $20 won't even get your ass a roll of tissue. Some shit, eggs, Lord forbid. Eggs is about $15 already. You know? Like, I think I went to the store last week and I bought some air freshener, and I bought, what else did I buy? The fuck did I do? I bought that, and I bought some I bought like some plug-em-ins and then like some other shit. Shit was like $11, man, for 2 fucking items. All right, let's not talk about food, water, the spring water. I get like around $7 bucks. Bread, $5, $3, $4. Eggs for the base shit, $5. You know what I'm saying? Beef, chicken. You know, it costs money now. Rent, which people are complaining because they're paying 40 up to 50% of their income in rent, man. So people are crying out, and that's what Esau wants, because eventually things are going to get so bad to the point people are going to accept the mark of the beast through desperation, and that's what Esau wants. All right.
Is that true? Of course not. And I'm curious, how many people in this room actually own physical gold, physical silver? That makes me happy. And it also makes me happy that there are people in here that are just new to this, that are learning why it's so important to hold it. Because we can say it together for those that know. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Everything else is a contract. In 1971, where the population lost the ability to convert those gold certificates into gold, now global governments lost that ability. And we were on a pure debt-based system. And as we all know, we're what they're reporting is north of 36 trillion, but we've been compounding interest forever. So what we're looking at here is the Federal Reserve note. There are the 4 functions of money. This was the promise. And here's the lie. Government fiat money, debt-based, you can print as much of it as you want. Just going down the aisle, you saw how much we could print it. It's in their control, their attempt to control the rate and speed of inflation.
Right, because they have the world's reserve currency, and it's so fucked up because they upped the price on gold. Last time I checked, gold was $1,800 an ounce. Now that shit is like $3,300 an ounce, and that's how you know that they're getting ready to collapse the system, because they're gouging on gold now. They price gouging that shit, and gold is going up. So when gold and shit like that goes up, then eventually people can't afford it, and then shit that go to transfer of wealth. So it's getting ready to get real out here, man. You know, you brothers got gold, hey, beautiful. If you got silver, hey, they call silver the poor man's gold. You know, which a lot of Jake can't afford gold, so they get silver or something in equal value. But the rest of these people, they're through. They're cooked. Keisha talking about generational wealth. Okay, well, let's see how long your esthetician business or your eyelash business lasts when this collapse come. Okay, they gonna wipe your ass out overnight by buying them fake ass eyelashes, man. You know, but this is the world we live in. You see? So anyway, let me get one more precept here, because like I said, the collapse of the system is going to lead to the MOTB, which in Revelation 13:16 it says, he may not buy or sell save he that had the mark or the number of the beast or the number of his name. So in order for you to have purchasing power, you're going to have to get that in your MOTB. You see? One more precept. This is the book of Zephaniah 1. And I'm going to start at verses 10. And it should come to pass, says Yahweh, that there should be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. This is going into your Wall Streets, okay, your stock market, your economy. All right, it says a great crashing from the hills, which your hills goes into like your government. It says, but how ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all that bear silver are cut off. Okay, so it ain't gonna make a point whether you got silver or gold. The Lord ain't gonna give a damn about that, because going down to verse 18, it says, neither should there silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the days of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land should be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, and he should make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So you can have silver and gold and cattle and livestock, okay, but the ultimate purpose is for the Most High to overthrow this place. So the money is not going to save you. You know, it may give you some type of some edge for a small time. You know, when shit collapse, you got silver, and you may be able to go to particular exchanges and get your goods from that, but eventually that's all going to cease, okay, because ultimately you're going to have to opt into this system. All right. 2 Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 40, and it says, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So we're going to have to move around in that day. Okay, you ain't going to be able to wake this thing out of your apartment because it's going to be too chaotic. But it says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose," right? Because your money ain't going to mean nothing in that day. You know, all you jakes is trying to attain generational wealth. It sounds good, but Esau has that in the bag. He's locked that down. It's not going to happen. And it says here, "He that occupy merchandise, as he that have no profit by it, and he that build it, as he that should not dwell therein." So, you know, eventually we're going to have to walk away from the shit that we do got. You know, our apartments, our homes, our houses, hell, even some family members. You know, if you ain't already done that yet. You know, the vehicles, when the grid goes down, you got one of those electric power vehicles, or you got one of those vehicles that was created a certain year, hey, then, you know, you probably won't be able to withstand an EMP. So you ain't going to be able to drive your car because, for one thing, you're trying to get around unless you're already outside of the city limits. You know, on the countryside, you may be, you know, you may have some luck. But if you in the city, you can forget about getting out the city because the E-way is going to be jam-packed of cars, man. Because these people are stupid enough to all get out of this place at one time. They all going to try to rush and get out of this place at one time. And it ain't going to happen. Okay, they show you that on every goddamn doomsday movie. I Am Legend. You saw the cars blocking traffic. You saw that in, what's the name of this movie? Leave the World Behind, when all the Teslas was piling up. Okay, the highway is the last place you need to get on once a collapse comes, because everybody is going to try to foot out of the city. You know, they're going to get caught within these checkpoints, and, you know, they're going to come by and they're going to scan people's heads to see if they got that digital mark. And if you ain't got it, then they going to pull you out of your car and throw you in a goddamn bus or a train and ship you off to the nearest detention center so you can get it. So it's going to be all chaotic in that day, man. All right. And it says here, "And he that soweth, as he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that should not gather the grapes. And they that marry, as they that should get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And it says, and therefore they that labor in vain." So it's all vanity at the end of the day. All right. So anyway, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I will be sure to link this in the description in case you brothers may want to, you know, follow up lesson on it, or you may want to watch the videos to kind of inform yourself as to, you know, what's going on with the system. But with that, shalom. May the Lord be with you, few brothers, few sisters. Shalom.